We celebrate the 43-year reign of the speed metal kings, Metallica. With 9 Grammy Awards and 14 nominations, 38 concert tours worldwide, and 11 studio albums that span 4 decades, the Titans of Thrash remain the standard by which all other metal is measured. We begin with a 1984 classic from their second album, For Whom the Bell Tolls, followed by the 1992 tour anthem, Wherever I May Roam. And then, let's turn down the house and light up the stage with the Auburn University Marching Band and their show, Metallica.
It is Wednesday, albeit a very chilly Wednesday on the plains and many other places. That doesn't stop us from having Auburn Family Night, the show that is all about you, the Auburn family. We're going to take your topics, your questions and comments, and of course, your calls. All that's coming up right now. So let's get into it. War Eagle, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of E2C Network Live, where we talk about the Auburn experience. That Auburn experience to us is all about 3 things: Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff, and an easier way to put it to you is if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us and what we're going to do for this particular live stream. What's on tap for you for this live stream? For those of you that are live and even on the replay, we are going to be doing Auburn Family Night. It is our show that we have been doing pretty much since the dawn of time. We've been here on YouTube, that there was really any regular Auburn content on YouTube. And we appreciate those of you that continue to come in and hang out with us on the live portion of the show, and those of you that catch the replay of this. What we're going to do is talk about what's on your mind, what's on your hearts, what's on your souls. What do you want to bear here? What do you want to discuss? That's all on tap. As long as you can relate it back to Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff, it doesn't matter. You take center stage. And most importantly, this evening, we do offer you the opportunity to call into the show live. So if you're watching the replay, unfortunately, you can't take advantage of this. I mean, you could try. There's just not a way to do it. But for those of you that are watching live, that call-in link should be posted, available for you on the YouTube portion of the show. You could probably find it in some other things and some other the platforms that launched this show out if you'd like to. But brought to you by our friends at allthingsauburn.net. Please do check them out for a great place to stay and have a great Auburn experience when you are visiting that loveliest village on the plains. Use that link at the top of the chat. We'd love to hear from some of you all this evening to discuss the Auburn experience. Go ahead and drop in your hellos, all that good stuff. Anything you want to do to celebrate the show, kick it off on a good note. We'll give you some shout outs here. So many of our regulars are already checking in from all their different places. Let us know where you're watching from too. It's always a great time to know where people are watching in from and how vast the Auburn family is. Let me get us started this evening and get us going as you guys continue to post what's on your hearts and minds. Let me address. Certainly, we're doing this a little bit later. We're doing it a little bit later, about an hour later than we normally do on Wednesday nights. This time just out of necessity for my schedule, which has been quite interesting. We'll get into that here today in a little bit. But we might try to do this an hour later from now on. You never know. We might. We're testing some things out. We're trying new things. It's a new year, a new us, a new me, I guess. Some of you probably are going, thank God Kyle is trying something new. But either way, we appreciate you giving us a shot to hang out with us. And please do take advantage of that call-in link if you'd like to tonight. We'd love to see some of your smiling faces or just hear from your voices. You don't have to be on camera. So, some of the things that are out there. Did anybody catch anything that was going down in Auburn yesterday? It's pretty special, wasn't it? Those of you that were in that are part of our Conquer Club at the Eagle tier or the Tiger tier, which I believe is the vast majority of you, you got extra glimpses pretty much as it began to build into quite the epic snowstorm in Auburn. Now, look, Brian's here from Minnesota. Brian's going to laugh at us for our poultry snow that we got, but boy, for some of us who have seen very few snow days like that, especially in Auburn, it was one for the ages. And I am so thankful that I get to do what I do and give me the opportunity to travel and be able to cover that for you guys in great detail. So we can certainly talk about that. I can talk about my time all day. We'll do that on the Auburn Experience podcast this week in great detail. Austin, I'm sure, has got some great some great things out there. We will discuss a lot of those different things. Starting to get some callers in here, so we'll get those in just a second. But some other things that you may want to discuss this evening. Auburn has reportedly, it has not been officially confirmed as about an hour or so ago that I've seen. Check the not roster, the coaching staff online official, and he's not listed yet. But a brand new special teams coordinator is coming to Auburn. I haven't had a chance today to learn a lot about him, but certainly we can discuss that if you'd like. And I believe that probably will round out the coaching staff, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that out there. Big matchup on the Plains that is still going to be big, but certainly some of the hoopla around it is getting a little bit, shall we say, cooled off, dampened. We had to sacrifice a little bit of a camp out, apparently, is what it seems, for the brilliant snow that we got in Auburn. But other things, obviously, I'm on the road, so we're here in a different location this evening. So certainly, I hope that everything looks and sounds good. Let me know if there's any problems throughout the stream on the live portion of it. Plenty of other things that we could discuss. Those are just a few things I want to drop in on you guys. We got our first caller, so let's go ahead and say hello to him. From the great white north that laughs at our poultry snow, it is Brian. What's going on?
So you absolutely knew why I was calling you, didn't you?
I knew you were coming to dog me and my excitement over my little minuscule snow.
Not your excitement, just okay. How much snow did you get?
So I have actually not looked at any official statements about what Auburn got. Now, I will give you my anecdotal
You're from Wisconsin,
measurements.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, my anecdotal measurement is I think at the deepest parts of some of the areas that I got to walk through that weren't touched, probably over 3 inches.
Okay, that's fair.
That is for Auburn. That is big.
That's fair. That's fair.
And it was enough to, you needed to be wearing not snow boots, but boots in some area, or else you're going to have really wet, really cold feet.
I saw D Ford on Twitter giving people some grief about not doing things appropriate in the snow. So I might have chuckled.
Listen, this is what happens when Southerners get snowed. We don't know what we're doing.
I'm very aware.
Frankly, I looked like an idiot to them because I actually came prepared, double layered up, ski jacketed up. And I'm so thankful that I did, because the way it got whipping, actually like for us, what we would consider a blizzard at some point. Yep. That I was so thankful that I came prepared for that.
How did you do driving in it?
Now that was interesting. So here's how I kind of spent my day. I arrived in Auburn right before noon, and it had just started flurrying. The flurries would stop and start. So I really got to move a lot around during the day. But I
saw that actually on your social, yeah.
Yes, but about 2:00, I said, I think I need to find where I'm going to sit. And I made the decision to pay for an hour of parking downtown and assume that they were not going to do anything about any further charges on parking. And I was correct, because it began to snow heavily. And so my car was in downtown pretty much from about 2, maybe 1:30 until about 6 that night. And it got covered. So by the time I left from literally parked across from
I assume you had a snow brush in your car, right, Kyle?
No, I used my I used my gloves, and I just did it the old-fashioned way. And downtown was an ice rink. It was very dangerous. I actually wasn't aware at the time that there had been I don't know what you would call it, an edict, or that sounds very
it does sound very official, yeah.
But a
powerful suggestion.
A suggestion that you would be cited if you were out driving around in this. And I didn't know that. So I passed a few cops and they didn't stop me, but I'm literally just trying to get to the place I'm staying. I made it there fine. There were a couple of patches on Opelika Road that were probably the worst. And
did you spin it all? Or no?
I did not spin, but it happens when your wheels just kind of lose a little bit of traction. I just kind of let it ride into it, as you're taught to do, and not overcompensate.
And don't hit the brakes.
Don't hit the brakes, right? Yep, and so I made it fine. It just took a long, what should have been a 5-minute drive turned into a 15-minute drive, just to be.
Well, that's not bad. Did you ever drive in snow in Wisconsin? No, I'm trying to the Weather Channel Jim Cantori.
No, listen, this is what this has consumed Auburn for 24 to 48 hours, so we can focus on this. It's fine. I have not driven in. I've never been to Wisconsin in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've not gotten to see that.
So from everything I gathered on Auburn social with everyone, everyone's having fun with this, right?
Oh yeah. So much
All
fun.
right, so now have it start around Thanksgiving and end like April 1st and see if it's still fun.
See, that's why it's fun to us, because
I know, exactly.
we know this is we know that if we
It's
get
gone
this
next
type
week,
of
right?
accumulation, it's gone the next day. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, the picture that I posted today on our social, I was surprised at about noon how much snow and ice. It was still some snow, though. It was still on Sanford lawn. But when I came back by about 2 hours later, it was pretty patchy and almost gone.
Yeah,
It is shocking how quickly, even just barely above freezing temps, if there's some sun hitting that snow,
I was just going to say, sun angle really does a number. Like we're
what a day.
Oh, it looked like it. So like growing up here, when you're a kid, by here I mean Minnesota. When you're a kid and you get a snow day, that's what it looked like. Only it was adults, college kids. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so but it's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. We got all kinds of pictures, as I'm sure you saw, video.
Oh, yeah.
We still got more we'll probably put out, but I hope everybody's had a chance to go watch our video on YouTube. I think we posted on Facebook too, of the full you kind of watch it progress into what it became, because we started taking video early.
For us to get to the point where we're shut down like that, and you know this, we have to get like into the feet of snow conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. We just need a few inches and we're shut down.
And it's all done, right? Did Atlanta get it too?
No, see, that's the surprise. That is the weirdest thing about this, is that it completely flip-flops what you would expect. Not only does Auburn get snow, but more snow happens down at the beach.
I saw
3 hours away.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
10 inches in Gulf Shore, which was that's unheard of.
I feel like Norwell's got 9 or something.
It's wild. It is absolutely wild. So I'm just thankful that I, like I said at the beginning of the show, I get to do what I do, and I had the opportunity to come experience it, because it really brings up fond memories of my time at Auburn when we had a pretty major snowstorm. That one that we had still probably was a little bit bigger than this one, but it came on even quicker. And it just blanketed everything. And so it was very reminiscent of that. So I was kind of watching all the students, because I didn't really partake in the festivities because I was working, but I got to enjoy through their enjoyment and watch the shenanigans happen, which was fun.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you go. Enjoy what's left of it. And then any chance Janai plays on Saturday or no?
So the last that I saw from any official source, which I'm very this, but I'm just saying this for other viewers out there, please continue to be using discretion and only go to official sites, or like when you see a coach speak on it, which we've had a couple of times. The last I heard, Stephen Pearl spoke, and he said something to the effect of that he is practicing, but he would need to be elevated significantly. He's out of the boot before that became a reality. So my assumption is a big no right
That's
now.
My assumption too. But there's also absolutely no reason to tip your hand either.
Exactly. No need to tip your hand, and no need to risk it. I think what Steven said,
for sure, there's no
they
reason
want
to
him
risk
to.
It. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Steven said that he want him to be 110% before they put him out there. So all that language to me indicates we ain't
not Saturday.
He's not Saturday. Yeah.
I love, and I'll say it again, love the way that this team has responded without him.
Oh yeah.
It's just been so much fun to watch. You said it first, that this is their chance to show that they're the best team in the country by how they respond without them, and they've just they've responded beautifully.
Oh yeah, so. And believe it or not, and I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, we do some of these streams there too from time to time. Janai showed up on the show and talk. He didn't really talk. He said a few things just to be funny and stuff like that. But he kind of prompted that conversation. Just talk about the teammates and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, like this is a great team.
As one more thing, like I just love that the Mississippi State game, he's wearing the Product of Christ sweatshirt. That's just cool to me. So
it's good stuff all the way. There's so many good things to be excited about, whether it's faith-based, just fun times, people showing up and showing out. I mean, I would say to you, Auburn fans that feel like nothing ever good happens, just look for the small things like this, and the small things. It's always there. That's why we stress the Auburn experience.
And I'm going to say it I'll say it one more time. I've said it to a bunch of people. Like the SEC is so good. Eventually, this team is going to lose an SEC game. Do not get down on them. Don't get despondent. The SEC is just deep, and we're still. I still think we're the class of the league, but we have a target on our back every time we play. There's going to be a day the shots don't fall. We're going to get beat. I mean, I hope not, but just realistically, I think it's going to happen. And I just hope, as fans, we respond appropriately. So,
yeah, hopefully so. But right now, there's so much to be proud of with them.
Oh yeah, and if we lose by 2 points to somebody in the league, I'll still be proud of them too.
No, there's not anybody right now that I lose to them and I go, that's pretty dang embarrassing. No, it's just not how it works.
No, there's nobody in the country we can't beat.
Yep.
Nobody.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And then honestly,
agreed.
Janai getting 2 or 3 weeks of rest isn't the worst thing in the world.
Get him fresh, ready to roll. And just
right?
like Kenny said here, just got to win in March. And so if we can get him fresh to win in March, I love it.
We'll do it. But I'm going to enjoy the wins in January and February too. So
exactly.
Right,
oh yeah.
War Eagle. Enjoy the snow.
War Eagle, buddy. Thanks. Bye. All right. Good to hear from Mr. Brian. You guys can take advantage of the call-in link just like he did. Please do if you want to. If you're on Facebook, you'll have to go back up to the top of the chat. It should be there. It's pinned on YouTube. It's really easy. You just click the link and you can choose to be off camera like he was, or there's an option to be on camera if you want to do that. So please take the opportunity to do so if you'd like to do so. Good to hear from Brian. And I had a feeling we would hear from Brian tonight with all the snow action and him being an expert in it for us. So anyway, yeah, I can continue to talk about that a lot if you all would like to, but I'll also say this, that if you haven't, go watch our video that we put out about lunchtime today, highlighting. It's about 12 minutes, and I really edited it down, and there's actually some footage I couldn't put in there. You do your own assumptions of what that would be. It's just for me. I may share some of that footage with our Conquer Club people. I meant to do it a little bit today, but we're in a bit of an area where I'm trying to make some decisions about travel plans. There's some comments I want to address, certainly, but let me address that right here since it came up. Certainly the original plan was for me to be here through Sunday. We had kind of previewed that the camp out was going to be happening starting on Thursday, tomorrow. That is not happening. And the official instructions is that it should not happen, meaning that students should not do that and only line up really early in the morning for college game day on Saturday. So that's all we have to go off of right now. I do plan right now to still go to college game day to cover that a little bit for you all and be there as a representation for E2C Network. But obviously some things have changed about whether we'll stay after that / to Sunday and do a live show. So just as I kind of told y'all, this is always the tentative plans. Clearly the weather, which was great and gave us some great content here for Auburn stuff. It certainly has altered the plans a little bit with how, the official statement out there is that the roads are still pretty icy, and they are in certain points of Auburn and Opelika. I don't want to dismiss that out of hand, but I probably would have not rushed to make some decisions like that I felt were. But anyway, it's not my decision. Brian says, I love the video. Saw where the kid was in the stadium for the snow kick 6. Yeah, a lot of great videos there. Who else got to go in there? Let's see. WT. Well, first of all, let me. I didn't say hello and thank you to everybody. Corey, WT. We already talked to Brian. Bryant's checking in on both his sites, as we already brought Bryant up. Unbeaten Lake is here as well. Let me go back through, and we'll come back to some of the other things that were said here. I remember 15 years ago watching college game day for basketball. Never would I have imagined they would improve. We're going to go ahead and do. Oh, I think we're back. Sorry about that. Everybody give me a thumbs up if we're back. If you guys got me. We are in a different location, and certainly that does sometimes wreak havoc with our connection opportunities at times. I think we're okay, though. I would love a you're back in the comments or something like that if everybody is hearing me. Okay, all right, we're good. Sorry. So reading off the question that Unbeaten Lake said again, I remember 15 years ago watching college game day for basketball, wishing they would come to Auburn. Never would have imagined they would come 5 times in 6 years and probably more later this season. Is that a thing, Lake, that they actually come multiple times to the same place? Like they've done it for the football version of the show. Sure, there's probably opportunities to do that. And I think would work very well if they are officially not allowing camping. Whether students abide by that and what they do to enforce that is up in the air, I guess, or you can use your imagination if that's going to work. But it might be a perfect opportunity to move that to the end of the year for the final one, which would create an epic type of weekend. So, all those things being said, if we had to give up the camping and get to enjoy the festivities and all the footage would have gotten of that for what we experienced yesterday, I'm good with it. But that's a good point. Either way, your other point, five times in 6 years, 5 times in a row, because that sixth year is missing. I'll take it, man. I will take it because I'm sorry, I messed my point up there. 5 times in a row out of the 6 years, but that year in the middle was a COVID year. 5 years in a row is pretty awesome. Okay, we've got another caller in. We'll take them in just a second. Did we get to everybody else's questions here? W says, we are Auburn. All it will take is the first loss, and the casual fans will be asking if the game has passed Pearl by. Kidding, of course. Well, you are kidding, but you are serious. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know that this is the first time he has called, and maybe it is officially. I don't know. But I am so excited for the very first time to hear what I'm sure is the amazing voice of Mr. Corey Benson. What's going on?
Nothing much. Trying to get over the flu. Been one
Good
of those
to hear
weeks.
your voice. How are you?
I've been better, but I'm getting there.
Getting there. Well, buddy, I have been asking for you to call in forever, and it's nice to see your name pop up in the chat here or in the call-in link. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got a heartfelt message in my inbox saying how lonely you are.
Believe it or not, it's probably true. Well, what's on your mind? I mean, this is your first time, so you can get like pretty much free reign. What do you want here?
No, I'm just enjoying your show, man.
I appreciate that. I do. Well, tell me about like now you don't have to give away exactly what you were in the Auburn area, correct?
No, I'm in Hoover.
Why did I have you in? Were you working in Auburn or something like that recently and sent me a picture or something? Or did I?
I'm from Alexander City.
Okay. Maybe that's where it happened, because I remember you sent me a picture one time of a certain location you're at that was I was like, well, is he in Auburn? Anyway, you're close enough.
I know the picture you're talking about. No, that's in Hoover.
Is that really?
Is that a certain player you were referring to?
Yes. Sorry. I know we're doing like inside softball here between the two of us, and the entire audience is like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think we're on the same page now. Okay. So now that I know that's in Hoover, that puts a little bit more into context. But either way, you're not too far from Auburn. I'm assuming y'all didn't get any snow.
No.
I'm so
sorry.
We
didn't even get ice.
Well, I mean, you look, there's some good things that come with that. You already had it earlier this year, so, or at least you had some ice. How about that? But maybe you could you just lived vicariously through what we were putting out for you guys yesterday.
Yeah, gave me something to watch.
Yeah. Now, remind me, have you ever got to experience a snow day in Auburn or anything like that? Whether or not it was as a student or anything, have you ever been in Auburn and there was snow?
No, I haven't.
Well, okay, so if you did, what would be the first thing you would want to go do in the snow in Auburn? Like, where would you go first?
Probably clock tower.
That's a good one. I was gonna say you've got like 2 or 3 things that are gonna be right at the top of the list. It's the Sanford Hall, the clock tower, the stadium. But people forget there's a lot of like nice, if you want to go out and have some good snowball fights and stuff like that, there's some good open areas on campus to do that. So it depends on what your festivities were. If you're just going to walk around and enjoy it and stuff, certainly. Although Sanford Hall was pretty packed. I think some of y'all saw from the stuff. I was amazed how many people we got out there. And it wasn't just students. It was everybody.
I certainly did not see any videos of anybody camping out over the week.
No. They wouldn't have started. They were told officially you cannot start camping until after until 5:00 Thursday is what was sent out to the students, because they put that out publicly for everybody to see.
So after Jack Frost left.
And well, that was before that happened. And so the reasoning for that was tomorrow is Chet Williams' memorial service. and it was supposed to be at Neville Arena. Now it's been moved because of the ice and stuff on campus to a place that's already kind of cleared out a lot, and that's Church of the Highlands, closer to the airport. So that's it. Because of that, they were going to limit when students could do that. But now, because of what they're considering dangerous conditions, they're not going to allow the students to camp out at all until, I mean, they can get in line is what the official statement is to be in the college game day at 6:30, I think is what it was listed as. And they let them in at 7. So the plan right now is for me to go there and catch the excitement, but that's about it. But there will be no camp out, but who knows what happens. I'm not encouraging anybody to defy their directives from the university. I'm just saying college students are hard to control sometimes, as you saw from some pictures yesterday in locations people weren't supposed to be. So.
Well, you are the great Kyle Loomis. You got stroke down there.
Yeah, nah, you would
I'm
think.
just playing.
Hey, listen, I would hope I'd have some pool somewhere, but as I continue to be humbled every time I get an opportunity to see if I've got any pool, I find out, you ain't that big. So don't ever worry about me getting getting on a high horse or anything. I get shot down daily by that.
Hey, I
tell me
get
about
humbled every time I open my eyes every morning.
Well, I mean, you're humble because the good Lord lets you wake up. That's how all of us are. Well, okay. Tell me about this game Saturday. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Without Janai, I'm thinking it's gonna be a close loss or a close win.
So with Janai, what I take that to mean is we blow them out, is what you're saying.
No, I wouldn't go that far because
That's a little
Tennessee's
bit too
a pretty
much.
good team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's arguably the second. I mean, you're going to have a good argument about, is it Alabama? Is it Tennessee? But that's going to go up and down over who's the second best. But to me, I mean, we're obviously number one. I mean, nobody else is.
With Janai, I was thinking maybe 6 or 8 point win.
Oh, so like if we won without Janai, you'd say it'd be like a basket, 2 points maybe.
Yeah, 2 to 4 points.
Can you imagine that thing going down to the wire like that in Neville? And if let's say Tahad knocks down like a 3 when we're behind by 2 to win the game. Can you imagine how loud that place is going to get?
I can imagine it.
When's
I've
the
been
last
at
time
Jordan Hare before.
Yeah. When's the last time? Have you ever been to Neville Arena?
I have been there, but I've not been to an actual game before.
Okay, so you've just kind of been inside. What'd you come to it for? For what reason?
That's where me and my pop sit before the game.
Gotcha. Well, I hope you get an opportunity. Maybe if there's ever a cheap ticket again, I don't know if there will be, to come to Neville Arena, because it is quite an exciting place to be for basketball. And listen, if you ever want to go to just be in there where there's a good crowd, come to one of these like really big volleyball matches. I know that's not something that people travel into town a lot for, but if you can make a weekend of it, for a football game, that happens a lot. And there were some pretty big matches that I went to this year. And it was pretty fun to see. So maybe we'll have you there.
I do need to get down to Auburn more often.
Well, anytime you can get down to Auburn is a good thing. And we're excited anytime we get to meet. Here's the reason I want you to come to Auburn more often, because I want to be able to meet you. Well, a lot of people keep telling me they're going to come see me and stuff like that, and many do. But there's a certain individual we haven't heard from yet today that keeps telling me he's going to see me. He has yet to come see me, and so I feel like he's just kind of stringing me along and taking pity on me. It's just like saying, "Oh yeah, I'll come see you, Kyle."
Hey, I'm calling WT out.
You probably don't need to worry about that, because we might or not be waiting on him in line right now. But it's your time right now, so I'm going to give you as much time as you want.
I'm just looking at him.
No, it's all good. Anything else in your mind that you want to talk about? You've got the floor, sir.
No, not really. I just wanted to hop on there and say hey.
Well, we appreciate you doing that. I
Great
know it's a
blessings to all the Auburn family.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's great to hear your voice officially for the first time. I don't know if we've ever heard you before, but it's been a minute, so I'm glad to see your name pop up and hear your voice for the first time. So
Well,
don't be a stranger. Always appreciate you being in the chat.
I know about gave you a heart attack.
Yeah,
Sorry about
listen,
that.
I thought I had something wrong, and I
Yeah,
will point out, did you notice that we lost connection right before you called in? I have a feeling that had something to do with you.
yes, a glitch in the matrix.
It's a glitch in the matrix. It's like, this is not correct. Something's not working here. Anyway, Corey, great to hear from you, buddy. And yeah, whenever you want, you especially know that the phone lines are open for you.
All right, thanks. War Eagle.
All right, War Eagle, Corey. All right, we're going to get our next caller here in just a second. I think we kind of covered some of the things that were being discussed here. Unbeaten Lake said Florida at Ole Miss, at Alabama, Georgia, at Kentucky, he's got it all listed. Texas, Alabama could all be game day destinations. So I wasn't even thinking about that, Lake, that we could be the recipient, meaning we were a traveling team to a game day destination. At Alabama would be a good one. But if I may, and if Auburn continues its tirade as the number one team, and we're talking about Auburn and Alabama being, in the top 5 at the end of the year, why would you not bring College Game Day on the final day of regular season college basketball play to do that again and then get the official camp out? That would be amazing. All right. Folks, we are blessed because not only have we heard from Brian from the Great White North, we've heard Corey, I think, for the first time. For the very first time, I have been telling him it's about time he calls in. He has taken advantage of it. WT, let me hear it. What's going on, sir? Are you there?
Hey, Paul, first time caller, long time listener. Just glad to be talking to you. Kidding, of course.
Well, listen, if I don't know if I should take that as a compliment that you're putting me in the same category as Paul. How are you doing?
Do it.
Yeah, how are you doing? How's it feel to be calling in for the first time?
Feels good. I finally figured out, I can't do it from where I normally watch on YouTube, so I figured I'd just log on to Facebook and try and hook up and see if I can't get in touch.
So you did it through Facebook?
Yeah, I had to do it through Facebook because
okay.
I don't have a webcam or any of that fancy equipment, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and you don't necessarily have to have a webcam to do it. I don't know how. I mean, listen, I should say this. I assume it is easy, and I think it is, but I've never done it from y'all's side of things. I've always assumed that it's just a simple, getting a little bit of love from Brian there, WT. It's just as simple. You click the button, but it's good to know that I've always wondered, can they access it on Facebook? So you've actually just helped me out logistically, knowing that it works that way.
Yeah, it was real easy from Facebook. It was just like, a couple of clicks and it just put me right in the green room. So listen, it's all cool. I figured if Corey was going to call in, I had to make my appearance as well.
What a day. I got an Auburn snow day and I got 2 of my longtime followers here calling in. What did I do to deserve this? Or I could ask it the other way. What did I do to deserve this?
Exactly. I know I'm the long thorn in your side, but just so everybody knows, everything I say is all in jest and all in love because
of course. Of course. Now, listen, WT, since you love to jest and since you're here for the first time, Austin's not listening in as far as I know, but I'll first of all apologize because I haven't had time today to make a post about it, and it may be too late for anybody to really pay attention to it. But let me say this officially, and I'm saying this for a reason because he's here, because he gives Austin a hard time the most, I think. Today is officially Austin Scott's birthday, if people didn't know that. So if you guys want to, wish him a happy birthday in the chat or whatever, he may come back by. He pops in from time to time, but I'm sure he's busy this evening, hopefully getting him a birthday dinner with his wife and letting somebody babysit the twin boys. But I don't know what his plans are this evening, but I certainly, if he had somehow stopped by, I would have said, no, go enjoy your birthday and do that. But it is his birthday, so anything you want to do,
Yeah,
Mess with him is
I'll
is
get
your fault.
aside because I do try to give him as much grief as possible with his hex upon Auburn basketball. But I do wish him a happy birthday. I'm just hoping that he's not in attendance on Saturday so that we don't lose any more players.
I think he has well, I mean, that was days ago if he did. I think he officially confirmed that he doesn't have a ticket. I'll be honest with you. If you found a ticket for, and it depends on what you consider a reasonable price for this matchup, you are blessed because I have checked recently and it is $300, you know? So it is crazy to think that we are talking about a time where $300 is the going rate to get you into a single 2-hour basketball game for Auburn. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's crazy because when I was at Auburn, they were practically giving away the tickets. As a student, you just walked in free, which you may still be able to do. But yeah, anybody off the street could get a ticket to Auburn basketball back when I was there. Of course, that was with Sonny Smith right after when we had the hot streak with Charles Barkley and a certain person named Person that I regret to have fortunately But
you could talk about Wesley. Wesley, you could talk about Wesley.
Wesley, loved Wesley to death, but unfortunately, that was after my time.
I will tell you. So obviously, just to clarify, as far as I know, the students are free to still get in. I don't think because they all line up early, even they don't camp out, but for every game. The thing is, even if it did remain free, the difference is now legitimately when I was a student, I graduated in 2011, the spring of 2011, you could walk in whenever you wanted, right before tip off. And you might on certain games be able to fight your way into the middle of the seats and have the best view of the court. Now, if you show up at tip off, they now put you in the standing room only, that there's no room down there for you. So that's the difference. That's the Bruce Pearl difference, right? We go from not only ticket prices being ridiculous because it's one of the best basketball teams in the land. You can't, if you're a student, you have to fight, claw, and camp out to be able to even go in and see it from a decent viewpoint. So times have certainly changed.
It's absolutely crazy what Coach Pearl has been able to achieve at Auburn, because I can fondly remember going to basketball games and you could actually hear Sonny Smith giving directions to the players. And in fact, actually, one time after a game, I took my little brother to. We went and stopped at the Waffle House, and actually Jim Fife was in there, and so we got to meet him as well. So yeah, it's a totally different atmosphere these days.
Yeah, it's wild to think about where we've come from. I had high hopes too that Lebo was going to get us there. He had the season before his last that really looked like he was turning the corner. And I had hoped that he would be able to lead us into the new facility at that time, Auburn Arena. But as often happens, if there's a good excuse to make a change before those, special things start happening, it's not surprising to see that change is made. Unfortunately, we made a really bad decision and brought in Tony Barbie. So
yeah, that's true. But the ultimate result was we got the best coach in college basketball. So I guess I can live with horrible years of that person's whose name starts with B, if it meant that we got Pearl.
Yeah, here's the unfortunate thing. I've said this before, but he was the main coach. Well, I shouldn't say main. They both were there for parts of my time at Auburn, but I just remember early on having the luxury of knowing someone that was in a subsidiary part of the coaching, not the coaching staff, but the support staff on the basketball team, and the stories he would tell me about coach and coaches, and that I'm just like, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt and understand that probably other great coaches have these tendencies and they're still successful, but my gosh, it ain't happening here. So it's not surprising Barbie to me didn't work out, especially when he blamed the losses on the fact that we have Under Armour, and then Bruce went on to create one of the best basketball programs of Auburn's history, under Armour, and here we are now. Are you excited about the Nike and Under Armour thing? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was actually one of the ones who was hoping that we swapped into Nike. I just think that it's going to do a whole lot for the program as far as in the eyes of recruits and those kinds of things. I had no problem with Under Armour. I think a lot of their stuff was really good, and it was kind of nice being one of the few teams that had the Under Armour logo. But I think in the long run, I think it'll help out, especially in basketball, having the Nike logo on our uniforms.
Yeah, I think when you take all of those different arguments together, they make the stronger argument for Nike. But there's people that will take the angle of like, well, that's the thing that's going to make the biggest difference in recruiting, and it's just not true. But it does help in some cases. And so, but to me, you kind of touched on this. What's best for Auburn is what I think was what we all want. I think the logical thing is we all see that Under Armour is losing teams a lot these days, and their biggest one left is Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's probably just going to stay with them because they're Notre Dame and they just do things differently, especially lose championships. But sorry, that one was just sitting there and I had to take it. But anyway, like I've said 1,000 times here, I'm not unopposed to it. I will always prefer Under Armour to Nike because I just thought it was cool that Auburn got to be one of the premier teams and we were different. But what's best for Auburn is what I want. If that's what's Nike's going to do for us, hey, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Whatever's going to help us the most. I don't want to monopolize the whole show, so I did want to call in and finally let the listeners finally hear my melodic voice. So I'll try and call in more in the future.
You're
but
good.
Love E2C, love all the people that help out in chat and sometimes indulge me with my somewhat slightly less than family friendly action. But it's great to finally call in. And like I said, I'll try and call in more in the future.
Definitely when we would love to do that. This is what this night is about. I'd love for it to become less about me and more about you guys and your opinions. And it is great to hear some of our longtime peepers here. So now the call was put out. You and Corey especially have, there's a few other I see in chat.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Corey are putting it out that those that have been afraid to call in need to go ahead and call in now. If
it wasn't so bad, was it?
Done it, they can. No problem at all. For me, it was just a matter of trying to find a way to actually call in.
Right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing it. Certainly, the floor is always open to anybody that wants to call in from now on, and certainly, and as has always been. Quick last question. I should ask Corey this too. How do y'all feel about doing it at 9:00? Is that something that is too late for you guys, or 9:00 Eastern, 8 Central? Is that what's that feel like?
Either works for me. I just look to see what time it's going to come on, and then just try and plan out when I need to be online. And so usually what I do is I'll open two YouTube windows, and I'll put the E2C one on mute, and then I'll just peruse some of the other stuff that's out there, and then when it gets close, I'll just swap back over and start watching and adding to the chat.
Yeah. Well, and it's definitely one of those one of the big reasons I'm considering it is because I know there's a lot more that have chosen to start going at the same time that we do on Thursday nights at 8, but I think there's also maybe some that do it at 9 too. So we're trying to strike that balance of trying to find where we fit into that equation and things like that too. So it's not something I was really ever worried about before, but I'm investigating it now to see if it's better for some people. But
no, I agree. I agree. If it helps E2C, go with whatever time slot you feel would help it out. Anything that helps community grow, I think would be a great thing.
Certainly. Well, thank you for being a part of helping the community grow, and we love having you in the chat over there at the Concord Club too. So it's always good to hear your shenanigans over there too.
Yes, sir. You have a great night, and War Eagle.
War Eagle, WT. Thanks again. All right. What a night. What a night. A little feedback as well from 313 said, this is better for me. I think, that's the problem with trying to see, and this is what you get with this show. Sometimes I do a little workshopping with you guys. I know it's not the best Auburn content, but this is your Auburn family, your little family within Auburn family. So we're going to have these little meeting of the minds sometimes. I'm never going to be able to fulfill every need that everybody has, but I want to find what's best for our audience and what's best for growing it and stuff. And so it is something that, I've had opportunities and probably been suggested in the past that we move this show to 9:00. And I liked doing it at 8 Eastern time for me, but we're just working around. We're trying some new things. It's, new year, new Kyle, new E2C. we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for at least tonight adjusting. I had to do it regardless because of my schedule. All right. So we got call outs for Neil and Unbeaten to call in. That's from Corey, the official call out from them, from him today. You know what I'd love to, we get a lot of our people on TikTok and our TikTok lives, which is back open now again, that always say they're going to call in. And these are usually Bama fans that talk big and bad. And only one has ever done it. And I gave him a lot of credit for it. His name was Micah. So he may even be watching tonight. I don't know. Okay. Let's get back to some Auburn stuff. We've done a lot of discussing of things related to E2C, me, and thank you guys for those of you that put out. And I saw some people did in the Conquer Club wishing Austin a happy birthday. I called him a little earlier and just left him a voicemail. But hopefully he is having a good birthday. Let's see. Corey says that's fine with me. I might have to leave a little bit early. I tried to hit the sack around 9. Okay, well, you know, it's not an official thing right now, and I want to make sure that we're doing what's best for our current regulars here, especially, but what gives us maybe the opportunity to grow a little bit. So back to Auburn stuff. What haven't we discussed yet that y'all want to discuss? I know we've hit some of the big stuff with basketball and stuff right now, but what's on your mind? What about the football special teams coordinator? Does anybody have any opinions about that? I have not dug a lot into him yet, and I was kind of waiting. I thought about doing some videos specifically about Chad Lunsford. His name was escaping me, so I finally looked it up. Coming from FAU, and he had a previous stint here at Auburn. I do know that. I can't remember what his role was. Maybe it was special teams coordinator, but it definitely is something that was needing to be filled. I found it interesting that they brought Rock Bellatoni back, having been previously that part of his responsibilities, and also his position that he was coaching at Auburn, and that might help some salary room and stuff like that. But obviously they felt that they had the room to bring him in and have him back here at Auburn. I know it's not, some people will argue it's not the best thing to continue to bring in Auburn people or former Auburn people just because it feels good. And I agree with that to some extent, but if it makes sense and we got these people that know Auburn, have been here before, I love that aspect because I think we are best served by people who know and love Auburn. We have another caller calling in tonight. 4 tonight. What a night. Can we get it a snow day every single week? Because this is bringing out all the callers this evening. So we'll get them in just a second. Couple of comments rolling in here. It says, hey, I'll call out someone who I don't think ever calls in, Austin. Now, Austin has an excuse tonight, and that's why he's saying this. You know what? I'm pretty sure he has called in one night before, if I'm not mistaken. It was a long time ago, like when we first started doing this. But I will tell you this, in Austin's current day job role, I think Wednesday nights are pretty wrapped up for him when, let's just say, the school year is in. I always don't want to divulge people's private information too much. And Austin's been pretty open about what he does, but it's certainly something I'd rather him say than me. Yes. Yeah. Austin knows the new pitcher's name. Yes, he does. Would y'all stop it? Y'all gonna try to get me in trouble tonight. All right, let's get our next caller in. Let's make it 4 on the evening. One of our regulars. There he is with what kind of hat you got on there, Kevin? What's that? Is that Auburn or is that something else? I can't tell. Move it around.
It's Fairview High School. 100 years of them.
Okay. It's no Auburn hat tonight. That's fine. That's fine. You wear something Auburn every other night, though.
Right there.
Hey, there it is. Let's go. Iron Bowl shirt. Love it. 2019. That was a good year.
Yeah, we beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
48-45.
Was that the Sean Shivers helmet busting thing? Was that
year?
Yeah. That was a good one. Good one. I like your banner that you got behind you, and what else? You got a lot of Auburn stuff back there.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
Fine. And look at
show and tell.
Look at this.
All right, it's a shirt, and all I can see is the earn part of it. Give me a little bit better. I know it's hard to hold the phone and do that.
It says Auburn Live.
Auburn Live. Oh, so for the guys over at On 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Did you buy that shirt? Did you win it or something?
No, they gave it to me. They mailed it two shirts for me and 2 shirts for my girlfriend Wanda.
Oh, that's nice
So
of them.
I'm
I like to get.
when they have the hair calling show on Sunday, I always be the first caller.
That's awesome to hear. Well, I'm glad that's nice of them to send that out to you. You got some new Auburn related gear to.
How about Auburn got some snow?
Yeah, I heard something about that. It's a little
And
snow rolling through.
I saw Aubie buzz his butt.
Yeah, you talking about the video that we put out, or did you see a different one?
Different one.
Okay, yeah, we got the backside of his backside hitting the ground. It's a funny story about that. So I've got a few people that I can connect with to find out when Aubie is going to make some appearances from time to time, not always. And so I had someone investigating when Aubie was going to make an appearance out in the snow, and they were trying to get back to me. And so I said, well, I probably got time to go to walk around campus and get some more pretty pictures of the snow. And sure enough, I don't get but about 100 yards away from the spot he was heading to, and here comes Aubie just tearing off on a golf cart, in the snow. And I'm like, God, and so I'm in my boots, I'm in my thing, I'm just running uphill back to to Sanford Lawn. And so I finally got there just in time to watch him get into Aubie shenanigans. So we got some video out there if you want to see it.
I'm excited about this Saturday.
You should be. You got a ticket?
No, not yet.
Well, good luck getting one if you don't got one. I hope you got some money to spend, Kevin.
Yeah.
How does $300 sound?
And I think our wide receivers will catch lots of touchdown passes from Jackson Arnold.
You think Jackson's the guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many touchdown passes for Cam? Way early predictions.
Like 13.
13. That'd be pretty good. Pretty good. What about what about Eric Singleton? The new guy from Georgia Tech. How many is he going to have?
18.
18. So he gets a few more. Hey, listen. If those two get 13 and 18 on the season together, I'll take it. I'll take
it too.
I will too.
I'll take a 1-point win over Tennessee too.
I was going to ask you. I was going to say, I feel like I always got to get a prediction from you. So that's what you'll take. What are you going to predict? Who wins and what's the score?
Auburn wins like 48 31.
That is a low scoring basketball game, my friend. And if that happens, that'll be shocking. But hey, I don't care as long as we win, right?
I hope we got Janai Broom for that game.
I would love to have him back, but I think unfortunately it's not going to be the reality. Now, listen, I don't know. I don't know what his healing process is, but from the language that was being said by coaches on interviews and stuff to start the weekend, I wouldn't expect it.
I think he was practicing today.
Mm-hmm. Now, part of the process is getting back to practicing, but Coach Stephen Pearl said, we want him back 110%. So once he is 110%, that little extra, I think we'll see him. I don't know that we're going to reach that by Saturday.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right, sir. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Good to hear you. You're our fourth one tonight.
And I think Chad Baker will have 24 points a game.
24 a game. I love to hear it. We'll see.
Yeah.
And if he starts scoring 24 points a game, we're going to be pretty good, no matter if Janai's there or not.
War Eagle.
War Eagle, Kevin. Good to hear from you, buddy. Bye. All right, that was our friend Kevin. We get to hear from him often. So he ended the night for us tonight. I knew it was probably a little bit different for him since he's usually the first one in transition over tonight. Like I said, y'all, we'll continue to play around with this. And this is actually a good time to do it because we are going to have some nights. One of the other reasons I thought about investigating changing the time was because of when we get to basketball season, there is a little bit of an issue with the games on Wednesday night, which we will have next week. As a reminder, there is a Wednesday night basketball game, which I believe is at 7 Eastern time, which means it would end right at our normal show, or what would our test start time for the new start time for Auburn Family Night. So we'll be doing a show around 9. It just won't be this particular style of one. So we're going to continue to experiment, play with it, and see what happens. We may end up and say, you know what, we like 8 o'clock, but we'll see what happens. And there may be some times where we move it ahead for of a basketball game or something like that. We'll just see what happens. All right, we got a couple things in here. Austin gives up his family time on Sundays. I can't fault him for not being on the Granddaddy Show as well. I do love that y'all have affectionately called it the Granddaddy Show of all the E2C Network Live opportunities that you have. Corey says, is Aubie obligated to hit all the sporting events? Listen, Aubie is the greatest Tiger that has ever been and ever will be. Thus his 11, 12, right? Whatever national championships. One of the first, if not the first, inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame. Literally the greatest ever. I don't think he's obligated to do any jack diddly. I think Aubie feels obligated to be at every sporting event, every school function, every milestone, every celebration, to make hospital visits. I think Aubie's mission in life is to be at every single thing he can be in the Auburn experience. And how great is that? That's what makes Aubie the best. Now, it's pretty difficult to do that, but as you kind of notice, he has a keen way of getting around places very quickly. It's almost like he has like a portal or something like that. I don't know, but that's what makes him the greatest Tiger ever. But I don't know what the obligations will be. Let's see here. Let's see. We got some conversations that seem to indicate that Aubie's not a real Tiger, so I don't know what this is about. But he is. He says, I worked with someone who was an Aubie. I don't know how you could be an Aubie. There's only one Aubie. But y'all can continue to discuss that amongst yourself. Last Sunday, I went to a Michigan basketball game and got to see Trey Donaldson play again. So 313, I know we're only kind of subsidiary Auburn related with this, but I'm taking that to how did he look? Because I loved Trey Donaldson while I was here. I was really disappointed when he didn't decide to stay. But from the few clips that I saw of Trey in non-conference play, because they did pop up from time to time, and I think I sat and watched maybe a half of Michigan one time just to see him. It seemed like he was doing pretty well. So I like Trey Donaldson. I wish him nothing but the best. And it's not that I never wish anybody. There are some people I don't, but most of the time I don't have any ill will towards someone wanting to go in the transfer portal unless they burn Auburn. There's someone out there right now. I hope Trey is having success over there. Corey says if we play Florida in Florida, that's an automatic loss. Haven't had much luck on that front lately. We talking about basketball? Yeah. There's something going on in that arena. But thankfully, Florida is at our place this year, which makes it a little bit more in our favor. Doesn't matter where you play and who you play in the SEC. Is going to be tough. All right. Final questions, comments, topics, derogatory rebuttals. Get them in now. Get them in fast. Get them in while it's hot. You got an opportunity to now. We try to get out of here right about an hour, but if we need to hold over for some last minute questions, comments, or calls, if you are accessing it right now, feel free to. This would be a good opportunity for you to even test it out with no really obligation to stay on long. You can, but we're going to go ahead and take the banner down right now, but that link is available in the chat. Pinned on YouTube, should be available somewhere on Facebook, as we confirmed by WT today. That was very helpful. So, a couple things, and I'll answer those last minute comments and questions that are rolling in right now. What we got coming up here this week. As I stressed to you all throughout last week and leading into this week, it was going to be very variable with what is going to happen. As I started the show saying, the snow has definitely turned the Auburn schedule on its head a little bit. Thus, it's changed my schedule. For now, I am still planning to be in Auburn tomorrow sometime to go to Brother Chet's memorial service. And won't be really, might see us post a picture of a program or something like that. But that's not really why we're there. I'm there to honor the man and what he has done for the university and so many lives and for Christ. But we'll be in Auburn. Chances, and it's looking like I probably will remain until college game day and then potentially head back home and do the post-game show live from in studio. But there is a chance that I may stay watch the game somewhere in Auburn, do the post-game show from the mobile broadcast studio, and us do a live show together from campus, me and Austin, on Sunday. We will just have to wait and see. But just keep in mind, post-game show, no matter where we are, right after the game. If by some miracle I get in the game, it'll be a little bit delayed after that. But hey, right now we should be ready to go right after the game from somewhere, either the mobile broadcast studio or other places. We then, on Sunday night, because that's Saturday, have the episode 111 of the Auburn Experience podcast. It will either be at our regularly scheduled program of 9 on Sunday nights, or if we're able to do it live, do it live. Some of y'all know that reference. We'll do that live from campus a little bit earlier in the afternoon. And remember, Wednesday next week, Auburn versus LSU postgame show will conflict with us doing Auburn Family Night, but don't you fret. We'll get one in the next week after that if there's no other conflicts of interest or schedules or things like that. And always check out our friends at Alumni Hall in Auburn. Our link in our profile is a great way for you to buy something for yourself and support them and us. Check that out and all the other links that you can help support us in by shopping, serving yourself, and volunteering your finances. Anyway, let's see here. Any final things we've got going on here? This question came in from Unbeaten Lake. Would you rather play in Rupp or Billy Donovan Court? I would rather play. Oh, that's a tough one, actually. My initial reaction was to say Rupp, but we haven't had a lot of success there either. I kind of think of Rupp as I would Cameron Indoor. The history that is there makes it specialer if you got to lose somewhere that you were there. So I'll probably still go back with what I initially was going to say. I would rather play in Rupp over Billy Donovan. There is some weird juju going on in there that I do not like for Auburn. Yes, we do have a new punter, and no, you're not going to see me talk about it. Need to get you up to 10K subs. We're working on it. You know, we've been growing a little bit quicker at times this last few months, which has been a little bit surprising given how we kind of go as the sports and namely football goes. And I'm not just saying that for me. I'm saying that for a lot of Auburn content creators out there. And we're also, please don't take this as a shot at anybody else, but we're not backed by other big companies that they're part of a bigger group and stuff like that, or they have more crew and stuff like that. That's nothing to say anything bad about them. It's just, we are kind of trying to grow the way we need to grow, with the way we kind of do things slowly to make it more sustainable and continual. Because, my goal is to be doing this for the rest of my life in some capacity. Now we got to continue to make it more profitable. My wife will tell you that, but it's certainly something that I love and I want to continue doing and building and making for you guys. And you are a big reason why that happens. Dalton, by the way, Dalton, this is another one that needs to call into the show. You missed the great callers we had tonight. Corey for the first time, WT for the first time. We heard from Brian and, of course, our good buddy Kevin. So you missed some great calls. Maybe you were here during the show. Did I say specialer? Probably did. Hit the like button and comment as well in the videos for you to see. It shows engagement. It has YouTube promote it more. This is correct. Thank you for reminding people. WT. Specialer, it's more special. Your old teacher's English would not like that. Mine would not. And I would be very ashamed to make her upset because I loved my English teacher in high school, even though it wasn't my strongest subject. All right, let's call it a show. Let's wrap it up, tie it with a bow a little bit after 9. But really great engagement tonight from you guys. We had some good things and a variety of things to talk about this week, which always makes a really fun show. And it was so good to hear from so many of you this evening. Thank you so much for doing that and taking the leap of faith and just biting the bullet and giving that call-in link a try. I do always love our Auburn Family Nights, and it does pain me every week. There's a basketball game that conflicts with it, and that will be next week because this is an easy show for me. I show up, give you what you need to participate in the show, and then we just come on here and talk. So I do love the granddaddy of the E2C network in a very special way. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out with us, and spending your time being part of the little family within the Auburn family. We appreciate you so much. Stay tuned on social media. as I'm planning to still be in Auburn for a day or so, at the very least. So stay tuned. Concord Club people, you know the drill that are in the Eagle and the Taggart tier. You never know what might pop in there while I'm in Auburn. So keep that handy and check out some of those other videos. There may be something kind of unique popping in there, maybe tomorrow or something like that I'm not ready to show anywhere else. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Till we talk to you again. War Eagle.